Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy South Carolina fan here, and welcome to. Fuck. Forgot, man. This is a live stream. And anyway, this gonna be my annual review. Now, I've done this last year and the year before, but I've never uploaded this on YouTube. It's going up on YouTube this year. Oh, hey, I'm using the camera stand. I got a new camera stand. But anyways, let's review. Let's see if I could just carefully. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna be reviewing because, as you know, the season starts next month. Yeah, next month. Okay. I'm sure you all know. Conference changes. Pac-12 has new members. Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State, San Diego. You know what? The conference might as well call themselves the Pacific State Conference. Because Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State, they all have the word state at the end, so might as well. Oh yeah, and Gonzaga's joining, but they don't have a football program. They haven't had one since the 1940s, and they're not going to bring one back anytime soon. Yeah. Hang on. I think I may need to turn the light on. Hang on. Okay, I don't think that made a huge difference, but anyway. What's this? Yeah, okay, yeah. So here are the changes. Well, let's click on this. Oh, hey, they got a new logo. But as you can see, they all have the word state at the end, except this team. And like I said, they don't have a football program. Wait, Texas State? What the hell? Little too far away from the Pacific Coast, because that's literally what the word PAX is shortened for. Pacific. You know? Oh wait, they're not even on the Pacific Coast anyway. Anyways, go back. We got North Dakota State finally joining the FBS, because it's about time. They were becoming way too overrated in the FCS, because they kept winning national titles year after year after year. I mean, it was fun during the last decade, but then when we entered the 2020s, it's like, okay, I'm sick of this team winning the national championship every year. They need to be promoted to the FBS, and it's about fucking time that they did. And we got Sacramento State joining. I really wish they could have waited until they won a national title in the FCS. But now that they're in the FBS, they ain't never gonna win one. So here's the changes. UTEP joining the Mountain West, Northern Illinois Mountain West. Wait, where are they? The MAC conference. That's okay. That's more in the Midwest. Yeah, see, this is more of a Midwest region. And Sacramento State, which is obviously in California, I just can't imagine how much money they gotta spend for a small school to be traveling to the Midwest, if you know what I mean. Of course, UTEP joining the Mountain West. Let's take a look at what's this? Full member, associate member. Okay. Rule changes. What's this? Targeting penalty referred to missing the first half of the game. We brought to for a 1-year trial. Players disqualified for their first targeting penalty of the season, regardless of which half it occurs, will be promoted to play the next entire game with no carryover penalty. Okay. Second one, by same player, same season, will incur a carryover penalty unless overturned on appeal. National Court of Officials. Appeal can include both first and second target penalties. And what's this? The third or will be a 1-game suspension unless overturned. There's no carryover into the following season. Okay, so your third one, you get a 1-game suspension. Okay, so what if it happens the fourth time? You get even more suspended or suspended for the rest of the season? Okay. The fair catch rule used by the NFL. Decision to make the kick must be made by the head coach. Okay, that's fucking stupid. Okay, I was going to explain this, but you know, you know the fair catch rule where the ball's coming for you, and you're about to be, and this guy in front of you is about to tackle the shit out of you as soon as you catch it. But it's usually you as the player making the fair catch. I don't see how that works. Where a head coach does a head coach yell at you, "Hey, call for a fair catch"? Okay, what if he has trouble hearing? That's what I want to know. Anyway, also my offensive pass interference will become 10-yard penalty. It used to be a 15-yard, but now they lowered it down to 10-yard. Okay, why? Teams will now receive 2 replay challenges, with a third challenge available if one of the 2 challenges is successful. On punts where used, players not wearing the numbers between 50 and 79, man will be yada yada yada. So what's this? Sportsman icon will focus more on taunting interference with game administration and celebrations found manning to the game or opponent. / no joint. What the hell? Removing of helmet after the boss. What? Dude. Okay, no. I'm not really gonna read all this. And I'm sure most of you are all like, oh this is fucking stupid. Yes, I know. Notable headlines. I think I've read most of this. What's this? The FBS will move to a standardized 14-week regular season beginning in this. Each season will begin in week 0, the weekend prior to Labor Day weekend. I mean, what? I mean, that's always been like that, isn't it? The weekend after Thanksgiving. I don't know what that means, because I'm pretty sure that's always been like that. Isn't it? I don't really know anymore. New stadiums. Northwestern's getting a new stadium. New Ryan Field, obviously still one of the most pointless stadiums because you know, Northwestern is very bad in football, and they obviously can't build an attendance level that much because no one really gives a shit about Northwestern football. So wait, what was their capacity before? And they still couldn't really fill that. Oh wait, I'm sure they still couldn't fill that because who the fuck gives a shit about Northwestern football? They suck. That's my opinion. This is the final season for South Florida Raymond James Stadium. They're finally getting their own on-campus stadium. Kickoff games. Oh yeah, see, week 0. North Carolina TCU in a football game in Ireland. Here we got week. Now this is basically just neutral site games. The Aflac kickoff game, and then as you know, my team played in this. We played in this last year. We won the game, and yet we still had a sucky ass season. And looking here, they're playing in Green Bay, Wisconsin, home of the Packers. Not the new one. The new one, I think, opens next year. Oh, and would you look at that? Arizona State and Kansas. They're playing in London, England at Wembley Stadium. So is this going? It's going to be an annual thing, okay? So that's cool. Yeah, I think. Yeah, from what I heard recently is that what was it? Their equipment has now, as of recently, a few days ago, been placed on a container ship and is currently heading to England as I speak because today is the 1st of August, August 1st. Yeah, yeah, that's how long it takes to. And whenever the NFL has these games in London, their equipment has to be placed on a container ship like a month before and it sails there. It leaves a month before the scheduled game. Recap the year. Obviously, the season hasn't even started, so yada yada yada, yada yada yada. All right, now let's do my thing and review every team. Okay, now I'm obviously gonna get these two out of the way. We'll start off with my team. Where's it at? Okay. So we got my team right here. Okay, let's scroll all the way down to right here, and here's the schedule. Kent State, Towson. That's an FCS opponent, by the way. Mississippi State. At Alabama, Kentucky. At Florida, Tennessee. At Oklahoma, Texas A&M. At Arkansas, Georgia. At Clemson. Will I do a live reaction this season? Well, I'm sure I will. But here's the thing. That just depends if anyone that lives here in my home will be home at the time as the games start, and as long as I'm not working on that Saturday, that is. Like this game, for example, obviously, I'm sure I'll be able to do a live reaction to this, but that just depends. that just depends, and as long as nobody in my home is home, or that lives in my home is home, and as long as I'm not scheduled to work that Saturday, as I've been, I've been can't speak, frequently been getting Saturday scheduled, and today is Saturday, by the way, and yes, I did have to work. I did have to work today, so it all just depends if I'm gonna be available, if I'm gonna be free. So yeah, it's the team. It's my favorite team. Has been my whole life. Or I didn't start watching college football until the year 2006, which is 20 years now. Yeah, I didn't start. And yeah, this is my team. Started watching them in 2006. And and this was the first opponent that I saw them play that year. What's it, Saturday? And yeah, it was in October of 2006. Well, obviously, it's not the date in 2006. I think that was a little later than that, or yeah, a little later, I would say. Anyway, yeah, anyway. So, that's my review on my team. And now let's review the team that I hate the most, and I'm sure everyone knows, and that's their rival. And that's their rival, Clemson. And I've explained it before why I'm a hater. It's not only because we're rivals, it's because their fan base is quite toxic. Always bragging, always bragging and shit about how they have 3 national titles and we have none. We have a shitload of conference titles and y'all only have 1, and all that fucking shit. And that's coming from someone that lives here in South Carolina. Their fan base can be quite toxic. Now, I do have friends that are Clemson fans. Don't get me wrong. When it comes to college football, it's the one thing we don't really agree on. Shit. Anyway, this is their schedule. At LSU, Georgia Southern, North Carolina. At California, Miami. Florida, I'm guessing, yep. Charleston Southern, Virginia Tech. At Florida State, at Syracuse. Georgia Tech. At Duke. So, yeah, they've obviously always going to get a shitload of home games. Let's see. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, get out of my way. 6, 7. 7 home games in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I mean, for most teams, it's usually 6 home games, 6 away games. Usually even it. But you know. So yeah. Anyway, so now let's review every team. So we'll start with the American Conference. Army Black Knights. Yeah, I know of some people that have been in the Army, and yeah, obviously they're an okay game. Charlotte don't really care. East Carolina don't really care. Florida Atlantic don't care. Memphis don't care. Oh, Navy. I mean, they're all right, but when it comes to the Army-Navy game, obviously Army. Go Army, beat Navy. North Texas don't really care. Rice don't care. South Florida. One of my cousins went to that school, but I never really got into cheering for them when she went to school there. Don't care. Don't care. Don't care. I I I went. Okay, why did I click on that? I went to a game when we played UAB in 2012. And then, and of course, 2 years later, the school dropped the program. And then 2 months later, they're like, "We're bringing it back by the 2017 season." And they've shown a whole lot of success ever since. UTSA, still, still a young, oh, that's still a young football program, but they've shown a whole lot of success. Okay, let's fix this. Okay, they've shown a whole lot of success in recent years. I think they've won two conference titles in the past 5 years, I would say. Yeah, but they're all right, I guess. I mean, I have cheered for them occasionally, you know. Boston College, yes, somewhat. I mean, I do. I have cheered for many teams that are in the Boston area, so yeah, I would say they're pretty cool. California don't care, but you know they okay. California and Stanford don't fucking belong in this conference because look at the title, Atlantic Coast. Is California is the whole state of California on the Atlantic coast? No. It's on the Pacific coast. And I don't fucking understand why they had to bring these two in. Very misleading name to bring two teams that sit on the Pacific coast into a conference that pretty much sits on the Atlantic coast. At least change the fucking name. You can change the word Atlantic to the word athletic, or just drop these three words and just say ACC and have it stand for nothing. Just saying. I already reviewed them, and Duke. Yeah, they're pretty. They're pretty cool, I guess. I mean, I do love their basketball program because they're always great in basketball. But I guess all right in football. Florida State. And when my cousins went to school here, but I still wasn't that big on Florida State, and frankly, I'm still not that big on Florida State. But they're all right, I guess. Georgia Tech, not that big on them. Louisville, oh yeah, of course I would like them because they're in Kentucky. I was cheer for Kentucky teams. Miami, Florida, all right, but not really that big. NC State, don't really care that much. North Carolina, I like them, just don't like it when they have to go up against my team. And we played them a couple of times a few years. I think we were supposed to play them again in 2029, but that ended up being canceled because I'm guessing because of rule changes. I don't really remember. But yeah, Pittsburgh don't care. SMU don't care. Stanford, like I just explained, they don't fucking belong in this conference. Syracuse, not that big. Virginia, yeah, I would say I like it. I do cheer for Virginia schools because I have some family in Virginia. Virginia Tech, one of my aunts went to school at Virginia Tech back in the 80s. Still waiting for their first national title, and It definitely won't be happening anytime soon. Wake Forest, not that big. Illinois, don't really care. Indiana, now, obviously, yes, because I also cheer for Indiana schools or Indiana teams. Yeah. Oh, shit. Okay. I'm starting to run low on battery. But yeah, if you're one. Oh, you can't see it? This is my favorite NBA team, by the way. You, you know, I was thinking about making 2026 my last year being a college football fan because and one of the reasons because it's it's always the same overrated teams winning the national championship every year. But as soon as I saw this team win it in 2025, it got me to reconsider that 2026 will definitely not be my last season. Because of them, I'm still going, and I thank them. I thank them for their huge miracle run, and I'm sure they'll still be good. They'll be good again this season. Okay, yeah, of course, their Heisman Trophy winner got drafted to the NFL and be playing for the Las Vegas Raiders, and they still got members of the national championship team, and you know they're still gonna be good, and obviously they got their head coach Kirk Cinetti, and as you know, he said, "I'm built to win." Still expect more success from them. Okay, Iowa, not that big of a fan of them. Maryland, not that big. Michigan, somewhat, but not that big. Michigan State, don't really care. Minnesota, I do like their hockey. I do like their hockey team because, as you know, the state is known for ice hockey, but not that big on their football team. Nebraska, don't care. Northwestern, and as I've stated before, they fucking suck in football. Ohio State, here in the United States, no matter what state you're in, even if you're outside the state of Ohio, you're gonna see a shitload of Ohio State fans everywhere, even outside of the United States. Because a couple years ago, I saw a live stream from Japan, and they were selling Ohio State merchandise. Because as you know, Ohio State has a ginormous fan base, and you're gonna find them everywhere, no matter what state that you're in. But I'm not that big. But me personally, I'm not that big on Ohio State, and they're kind of overrated. Oregon, now it's my second favorite college team. As this is my cousin's favorite team, and oh, and a little update is I'm gonna be heading to Oregon in 2 weeks as I'm recording this. Spend some time with him, but I'm not gonna be in Eugene. I'm gonna be in a rural area around near Central Oregon, that is. But yeah, this is his favorite team, and I've been to Austin Stadium, but they wouldn't let, not during the season, during the off season, they wouldn't let us go in because think they were having like football camp with high schools, not only in Oregon but also in Washington State, California, and Idaho. There, they wouldn't let us in, but hopefully some, and I don't know when. I'll go to an Oregon Ducks game, but that's a pretty low chance because I'm always busy. Penn State, yeah, I do like their football team, and they got a pretty good wrestling program. You know, Purdue, Indiana school, do like them, but they need help. Rutgers, the team that played the first ever college football game, don't really care about them. UCLA, obviously, in women's basketball, yes, they kicked our ass. I know, but I don't really care about them. USC, obviously, and I hate to say this, but this is the real USC, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the state of South Carolina was founded first before California, or if our school opened first before them. They adopted the name USC first before we did, so obviously that's why Southern Cal takes the title of as the real USC. And I hate to say this as a South Carolina fan. Washington, don't really care. Wisconsin, yeah, they're all right. All right. Now we'll go to the Big 12 conference. Arizona, not that big of a fan on them. Arizona State, I like more than Arizona. I think the first and only time that I went to the state of Arizona at the Phoenix airport, I did buy a piece of Arizona State merch. I'm not sure if I still have it. But yeah. They're alright. I cheer for them every once in a while. Baylor, don't care. BYU. Now I have started like looking into rural areas like the mountain where, like in the mountain time zone, that is. BYU, obviously, in the state of Utah. You know what's cool about their team is their head coach. Their head coach was born in Tonga, which is a Pacific island nation. And I find that pretty cool how they're led by a head coach that was born in a different country. And he's obviously played football. He played football at BYU before eventually becoming a head coach. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Cincinnati, don't care. Colorado. Now, I think I showed you this last year, and I'm not sure if I still have it out. Nope. Okay, I'm not even going to bother digging into that. But I also like Colorado schools because they're pretty interesting. But goddamn, this program needs help. Winning the national title in 1990, they haven't been to a major bowl games, I think, since the Fiesta Bowl in the 2001 season. Their last bowl victory was in 2004. They have a Heisman. They won the Heisman Trophy not too long ago, and yet they still struggle to win bowl games. And he obviously needs to improve, or else this could be his last season as a Colorado head coach. And I know it's tough to be a head coach, but you gotta improve. Houston, don't care. Iowa State. Okay, trivia question. When was the last time Iowa State won a conference title? Give me 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1912. Yeah, you heard that right. The last time that they won a conference title was more than 100 years ago, more than a century ago. The same year the Titanic sank, and it's been a while, and they could have ended that drought in 2024, but they lost the conference title that year. But hopefully sometime soon they'll finally end that drought, because I think they've been tortured enough. Kansas. They pretty much suck in football. Good in basketball, bad in football. Kansas State. I know one of my friend's wife is a Kansas State fan, but I'm not that huge on Kansas State. Oklahoma State don't care. TCU don't care. Texas Tech don't care. UCF, yeah, they're pretty interesting because they won a national title that they claim, but it's not really that recognized back in 2017. But they're an interesting football program. Utah, and like I said, I've been focusing on rural areas like, Utah. They're alright, I guess. West Virginia, don't really care. Okay. Delaware, don't care. FIU, don't care. Jacksonville State, now, a lot of people don't know this, but a lot of people assume that the South Carolina Gamecocks, my team, is the only team that has that's named the Gamecocks. That's not true, because this team is also nicknamed the Gamecocks. Did you know that? And we played them before, I think in 2023, and we obviously won, even though we had a sucky season that year. Kennesaw State. They're in Georgia, but not that big on them. Liberty. They're a Virginia school. And like I said, I like Virginia. I like Virginia teams. Middle Tennessee. Don't care. Missouri State. Not that big on them. New Mexico State. Don't care that much. Sam Houston. I think they used to be known as Sam Houston State. Winning the FCS national title in 2020/21, because they delayed that season because of the pandemic. Went from winning that national title to getting promoted to the FBS, and they're still waiting on them to become bowl eligible. Okay, holy shit. My battery is getting close to dying. If I can get out of this, okay. Let me take I'm gonna go get a charger. Hang on a sec. Oh shit. Hang on. If you're watching this from YouTube, you're probably wondering why couldn't you edit that out? I'm doing this live stream because, yeah, and I didn't explain this. The reason why I'm doing this live stream is because the last video I uploaded, the last video that I filmed took a shitload of space in my phone, and as you know, it got copyright claimed, and are you fucking kidding me? It's not even charging. And if... Okay, now I can't even get out of this. Okay. Fuck, it's not even charging. Are you fucking kidding me right now? And it's still draining. Holy shit. It's still draining. Still not sure. Well, that's what I get for letting people borrow my charger. I let some people at work borrow this charger, and now it's fucked. Now I'm thinking, I should have never allowed them to borrow my charger. Fuck. Unless I gotta move. Yeah, it's not even charging. It's not even charging. Or did it just... I'm moving the wire around. It's not even gonna charge. Fuck. Great. Now don't worry. At least I have a backup. And now that I've discovered that my charger no longer works, I think nobody's gonna borrow my charger now. Don't know how to take good care of it. Can't take care of my things. And you don't need to borrow my shit. Hang on, I got me a backup. Oh, damn it. And I gotta quickly replace this because that battery is draining. Unless... Okay, wait, let me try it again. Maybe it didn't... Oh, okay. Let me try it again. No, it's not even charging. It's still draining like crazy. Ah, fuck. Okay, let's set this a little closer. Because this thing is not well balanced. Okay. Let's loosen this and tilt this a little. Okay, I'm gonna change this. If that don't work this time, that's probably the box. Okay, now it's showing 10%. Okay, now it's charging. Yeah. Yeah, obviously. Fuck, great. Well, that's just fucking great, because now I gotta order me another charger. I keep 3 chargers. I currently have 3 chargers that I like to keep with me. One for this room, one to take to work, and one that I plan on using when I go to Oregon in 2 weeks. So let's set this back and try to, okay, maybe set this over a little. But yeah, ain't that just fucking great? Like I said before, I should have never have let anyone borrow my charger, because, and you know, I fucking knew this was gonna happen. I fucking knew it. You let someone borrow your shit and they don't fucking take good care of it. Look what happens. They fuck it up. And now I have to spend $10 to get my hands on a new one. Ain't that just fucking great? Anyway, let's see here. Let's pick up where I left off, and I need to hurry up. I'm taking longer than usual. Okay. Western Kentucky. Yeah, I like Kentucky teams. Yeah, I obviously like Western Kentucky, because they've been on a roll kicking ass. Akron, they pretty much suck. Ball State, love them. Program needs help right now. Bowling Green. This is in Ohio, not Kentucky, so don't get that confused. Don't care. Buffalo, don't care. Central Michigan, don't care. Eastern Michigan, don't care. Kent State, don't care. Miami, Ohio, don't care. Ohio, don't care. Sacramento State, and like I said, really wish they could have waited until they brought home a national title when they were still in the FCS. But they really, really wanted to become an FBS member, and they got what they wanted. So, but, you know, they ain't never going to win a national title now. Because once you transfer from the FCS to the FBS, you ain't never going to win a national title. Your chances of you winning a national title are less than 1%. Now, obviously, Boise State is a former member of the FCS, but I will get to that later. Toledo, don't care. UMass, they fucking suck. Western Michigan, don't care. Alright. Mountain West. Air Force. Obviously, the Air Force Academy is located in Colorado Springs. But people ask me if I ever join the military, which one would I join? It would have to be the United States Air Force. So out of the 3 that play in the FBS, Army, Navy, Air Force. My favorite overall would have to be Air Force. Okay. Hawaii. Of course, I like them. I think having a football program on a tropical island is fucking cool. And as you know, they're currently demolishing their old stadium known as Aloha Stadium as we speak, but it's going to get rebuilt, but it won't be as big as it used to be. They're currently playing on now this originally was a practice field. It was their practice field, but now it's no. It actually opened. Okay, maybe now before. No, I guess maybe. I guess this is when they started allow play stands, because I've seen. I looked at Google Earth all the time. I remember in 2011 of seeing it. It was their practice field, but now it's their main field. And as you know, the old Aloha Stadium, and now they're currently getting a new stadium. Expected completion date is in 2029. Yes, it's going to have less seats than it was. Okay, between 25,000 and 35,000. And this one had 50,000, so I would say a lot less seats. Anyway, okay, Nevada. Now I did say that I like teams in rural areas, but I'm not that big on Nevada or New Mexico. North Dakota State, and like I said, it's about fucking time that they move to the FBS. I don't know, and I have been begging for that day for more than a decade, and it's about time. It's about time that they that they moved up to the FBS. Oh yeah, I really don't need to re-explain all this. Okay, Northern Illinois, I used to be overrated in the MAC conference. Now that they're joining the Mountain West, don't care that much about them anymore. San Jose State, don't care much. UNLV, don't really care. UTEP, which is the University of Texas at El Paso. Now, they used to be known as Texas Western, the team that won the national championship in college basketball in 1966. Now, if you've seen the movie, the 2006 movie known as Glory Road, it's literally the story of that team. But okay, we're talking about football here. For UTEP Miners football, like them and all, but that program needs fucking help. Okay, let's take a look at this. When was the last time they won a bowl game? Okay, 2 conference titles, 1956 and in the year 2000. 5-10 record, but when was the last time they won it? Let's see here. 1967. So almost 60 years ago was the last time they won it. Holy shit! But they've never well, last bowl win other than the Sun Bowl is never. But goddamn, and it's been quite a while for them now. But holy shit, 1967, almost 60 years ago. Next year will be 60 years. But goddamn, if you were born in 1967, you're old enough to be a grandparent by now. No, he's not. No, he's not alive anymore. The head coach is not alive anymore. Okay, he passed away quite a while ago. Wyoming. again with the rural areas, and yeah, I would say I of course on the CBS Sports app I have a shitload of teams that I favored, and Wyoming is one of them, but that doesn't mean that I'm a huge fan of them. I just say, yeah, I like them. They're all right. Because as you know, Wyoming, they had Josh Allen, who's known as the starting quarterback of the Buffalo Bills. He played at Wyoming, won a bowl game with them, I think the Idaho Potato Bowl. Yeah, I do think Wyoming's a pretty interesting state. I would love to go there someday. Okay, let's go to the Pac-12, or should I say the Pac-State Conference. See how every team has the word state at the end? And I'm gonna be saying the word state a lot, so be ready. Boise State. Yeah, they got a pretty cool football team. Really cool for a rural area. Okay, you know what I mean, but when I say rural, just an area that's like not that populated. If you know what I mean, Boise, Idaho, is the state capital, and it's a big city, but it's not a massive city, that's for sure. But yeah, and like I said, the teams that I favored on the CBS Sports app doesn't mean that I'm like a huge fan. I just say, yeah, I like them and all. They're pretty cool. And that's exactly what I'm saying for Boise State. And they're also known for that blue turf that they've had for 40 years now. And speaking of Boise State, at their stadium, known as Albertson Stadium, they have a game tonight, not a football game, but a baseball game, a different type of baseball game, banana ball, that is. I was watching the game last night, and they're playing again tonight. Banana ball, the two teams, Texas Tailgaters and the Party Animals, they're playing tonight at 9 p.m. this time zone. That is 7 p.m. their time zone. So I'll definitely be watching that tonight again. Colorado State, as you know, I like Colorado teams. Fresno State, don't give a shit. Oregon State, now as you know, like I said, my cousin's an Oregon fan, and this is their rival. But they don't play annually anymore, which I don't know why. I asked a question on a post saying, why the hell do they not play annually anymore? And someone said, because they're not in the same conference. I go, no, that can't be the reason why. Because as you know, my team South Carolina plays in the Southeastern Conference, and their arch rival Clemson plays in the ACC Conference, and it doesn't matter if they're not in the same conference. They'll still play each other every year. Well, except that one year in except that one year in 2020, as well as other years more than 100 years ago. But I think it's pretty much a state law that they play each other every year, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I don't understand why they don't. Okay, okay, and we take a look at their schedule, and yeah, they're not playing Oregon this year. It's no longer an annual rivalry, and I think that's a bunch of load of bullshit. Anyway, let's move on. San Diego State, don't really care. Texas State, yeah, I like them. They're all right, I guess. Utah State, I would. I like BYU more. Let's just say that. Washington State, don't really give a shit. Okay, now the Southeastern Conference. Alabama. Now, even though they don't have Nick Saban, I still think they're overrated as fuck. Arkansas, don't care. Auburn, don't care. Florida, I did like Florida back in the day, but of course, of course, when it comes to the state of Florida, don't really, I'm not, I haven't really liked the state of Florida that much in recent years, and it's not political reasons and all. I just don't. I've been there a few times before, and I I just don't really find that state quite fun and all. But when it comes to the sports teams, not that big on them, if you know what I mean. Georgia, second biggest rival, and as you know, of course, I don't like them. I don't hate them. I just don't really like them that much. Kentucky, and as you know, I do like Kentucky schools. LSU, not that all right, but not that big on. Mississippi State, okay, guess the last time they won the SEC. Give you 5 seconds. Five, four, three, two, one. Oh wait, hold up. Had to sneeze. But yeah, the answer to that question, 1941. Yeah, it's been quite a while. It's been 85 years now, if I'm calculating that correctly. Yes, 85 years. Goddamn. But you know, hopefully they could end the drought sooner. Oh wait. This one's had an even longer drought. I'll get to them later. Missouri, as you know, yeah, I would say rivals, and we both play for the Mayor's Cup because, you know, my team located in Columbia, South Carolina, and they are located in Columbia, Missouri. Two Columbias, you know. And the last Carolina football game I went to was the 2024 game where we scored with a few seconds left on the clock and we won it. And as you know, I have footage of that. I don't know when I'll be able to go to another Carolina football game because as you know, tickets have gotten expensive over time, especially with this NIL shit. Yeah. Oklahoma, don't really, not that big. Ole Miss, don't really care. And there's my team. Tennessee, alright, but not that big. Texas. I did like them. I did like them back in the day, but nowadays I haven't really been that. I mean, I still like them and all, but I am not that huge on them as I used to be. Now, I was looking through some old T-shirts, and I did happen, if I could find it somewhere. Let's turn on some lights. Man, I need to clean this drawer. I need to give away some of my T-shirts. If I could find it somewhere. Oh, here we are. I found it. Yeah. I bought this T-shirt when I was at the Houston airport back in 2011. I'm not too sure if it fits. If it still fit. Okay. That says medium. I wear a large now. I would highly doubt that this even still fits me. But yeah. Anyway, let's continue. Texas A&M. Now, I would say we're rivals because we both play for a trophy. And that trophy we play for is named after. Okay. Okay, let's go back. And. Oh, it's not on here. Oh, well, what am I doing? If I could find the schedule. Okay. Where's it at? Okay, it doesn't say. But I know we play for a trophy. And that trophy we play for is named after a South Carolinian that born in South Carolina, lost his life in the Mexican American War in Texas, I think, battling at the Alamo. Of course, I don't really know the full story to it, but that's who it was named after. But yeah, don't really like them that much. Texas A&M, Vanderbilt. Okay, when was the last time they won a conference title? Oh yeah, these are unclaimed titles. 1923. God damn. That's the last time they won a conference title. So that now makes them one of the one of the only two one of the only two teams in the FBS, along with Iowa State, that has a conference title drought that has lasted more than a century. Ongoing. And it's an ongoing. Oh yeah. And as you know, their quarterback. I thought he was cool and all, but then he fucked his playing career up because when he became the Heisman runner up, he decided to make a huge dick of himself, saying that, oh, this is a load of bullshit. I should have won the Heisman and all. And because of that, he didn't get drafted into the NFL because he behaved like a sore loser. Because of that, nobody in the NFL wanted him. Okay, we're almost done here. Okay. Appalachian State. I like them and all. Or, yeah, they're pretty cool. Because as you know, oh shit, what did I, okay. Because as you know, that game from 2007 when they defeated Michigan, when they were still an FBS member. But yeah, they got a pretty cool area. Obviously they're located in the Appalachian Mountains in Bill, North Carolina, which is a rural area. If you know what I mean when I say rural. Coastal Carolina. Now obviously will cheer for them because they're a South Carolina school. You know? God, what am I? Georgia Southern, yeah, they're alright. They're pretty cool. Georgia State, same thing. James Madison, well, they're Virginia school. Marshall, I think they're pretty interesting. How the team lost almost the whole team in the plane crash, and how they rebuilt and are still going strong since then. We Are Marshall. You haven't seen that movie? Check it out. Old Dominion, Virginia school, yeah. Arkansas State, don't really care. Louisiana, of course, they used to be known as Louisiana Lafayette. But then they dropped Lafayette and they're just plain Louisiana now. But don't really care. Louisiana Monroe, don't care. Okay. Don't care. Okay, we're almost done here. Notre Dame. Now, before my family moved to the state of South Carolina in the 90s, this was their team, Notre Dame. Family's team. Or basically my whole family's team. The ones that live outside of South Carolina is obviously their team, and it's been my family's team since the 1920s, so about 100 years now. But yeah, and no, we are not rivals. I don't know why some South Carolina fans think we're rivals with them. We are not rivals. Do we play each other every year? No, we do not. We can't be rivals if we don't play each other often. The last time we played each other was in a bowl game in 2022. Obviously, my team lost that. You know, when are we scheduled to play them next? Don't know, but not anytime soon. Okay, and now we go to the last one. UConn. I'm pretty sure their football team's that bad. But as you know, they got a extremely good women's basketball program, which my team, there's a rival. It's in women's basketball, that is, because they make us play each other annually. That is, but you know, and that's what we have here. Okay, I'm not even gonna bother looking through all this because this is all incomplete. National championship game in Paradise, Nevada. I think it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be. The national championship was supposed to be there 2 years ago in the 2024 season. That was. But then when they expanded the playoff from a 4-team to 12-team, another event was being held there at the time, and they were like, "No, we're not changing our schedule. It's being scheduled as scheduled." So they moved it to Atlanta that year. Now it's finally being played in Paradise, Nevada, which is part of the Las Vegas area. Okay, so as you know, here are the dates for the first round games and then the quarterfinal games. Oh, great! So after the quarterfinal games, we have to wait. We have to wait 2 weeks, 2 fucking weeks before for the semifinal games, and then, goddamn, that's like the latest the national championship game can be played. Like, holy shit! And I really fucking hope that they do not expand the playoff. I think 12 teams is quite enough. Even if they don't find it working out, I think 12 teams is plenty. We do not need a 18 or 24 because that will just expand the postseason well into February at around the same time as the Super Bowl, and we really don't need that to be happening, if you know what I mean. Oh yeah, bowl games. Oh yeah, as you know, I made a video called "Are Bowl Games Still Worth Playing?" Of course they are. It's not easy to win a conference title game or make it to the college football playoff. A chance to win something, And yeah, as expected, the LA Bowl will not be played anymore, and that sucks because I thought it was pretty cool. And this is bullshit. Game Above Sports Bowl no longer being played, and the biggest bullshit of all is the Bahamas Bowl no longer being played. I thought a bowl game in the Bahamas was fucking awesome. You're playing in paradise. But it's no longer a thing there. But 2 new bowl games will be played. The Puerto Rico Bowl. So the Puerto Rico Bowl will be played. Well, let's just hope that they survive hurricane season, because as you know, in college basketball, there used to be a preseason tournament known as the Puerto Rico Tip-Off. In 2017, that tournament had to be relocated because Hurricane Maria destroyed the shit out of that island. So they had no choice but to relocate it. And there's going to be a bowl game being played here. You better hope to God that the U.S. territory survives hurricane season. And they're bringing up the Poinsettia Bowl. Yes, I obviously remember this bowl game. I remember when they said it's no longer going to be played. But after 10 long years, they're bringing it back. But yeah, here are the bowl games. Oh, and by the way, okay, let's go back up. It says, additionally, the Xbox Bowl was renamed to the Frisco Football Classic, and the right bullshit. That's fucking bullshit. Because the trophy that they awarded was a playable trophy. Yeah, I mean, look up the Xbox Bowl trophy, and during the trophy ceremony, he said that, yeah, it's a playable trophy. You can play a game on that trophy. That was pretty cool. But after one edition of this, it's getting renamed to Xbox no longer being the sponsor. That's just a load of bullshit. And the Rate Bowl is. I always thought that name was stupid. Rate Bowl. What's this? AI stream. Whatever that shit is. It's being renamed to the Cactus Bowl. What the hell? The first bowl game is on December 15th. But in the FCS, which I will get to reviewing. I will get to reviewing this in another video. Maybe next week. So December 12th, so that's obviously, I would say, the earliest of the bowl game. Yeah, so here are the list of the bowl games, the dates and all. Obviously, no bowl games on Christmas Day. Holiday Bowl and the points. Hey, quit that licking. So they are dates yet to be announced. We got the Bowl Challenge Cup. Okay. Bowl eligible. See, I can't speak. Bowl. Oh yeah, they finally. Yeah, speaking of that. Originally, North Dakota State and Sacramento State were ineligible because of that stupid rule where if you get promoted from FCS to the FBS, you had to wait one whole year before you could play in a bowl game or even a conference title, and then it went up to 2 years. I'm like, what the fuck? And it's about fucking time that they got rid of that stupid rule because I thought that rule was pointless as fuck. Because I remember when Georgia Southern won the Sun Belt title in 2014, but they couldn't go to a bowl game. Their athletic director tried so hard to make them go bowl game. They were like saying to the NCAA, please let us play in a bowl game. We won a conference title. These guys deserve to be playing in a bowl game. But the NCAA responded, sorry, rules are rules. You can't play in a postseason bowl game, or even a conference title game. Well, at the time, the Sun Belt didn't have a conference title game because they were still too small. But you couldn't play in a bowl game during your first season in the FBS. They were like, sorry, better luck next year. And they had to wait a whole year before they could play again. And now here we are in 2026, and they finally got rid of that stupid, fucking pointless ass rule. And then I think it was about time that they got rid of it. Anyway, let's continue going down, and obviously all this is blank because season hasn't even started. Television changes. I'm not even going to bother reading all that. So yeah, that's everything. And in my next video, yes, I can't speak that well. And there's always something going on in my head to make me missay words. But in my next video, I'll be reviewing the FCS. I will not be doing Division 2, Division 3, or NAIA, or even U Sports. I'll only be doing the FCS next. So yeah, that's going to do it. That's going to do it for this video. Be sure to give this video a like, share it with your friends, hit subscribe. And since this is going up on YouTube, be sure to follow me on Twitch. Link to that is in the about section on my channel. And also follow me on Twitter/X. Link to that is in the About section on my channel. Hope you all have a good day or night or wherever the hell you are in the world. And I'll see you all next time. Later.